Hey everyone, my name's Jeremy Mason.
And I'm Brittany.
We're from the Pentecostals of Northwest Arkansas, and today we wanted to talk to you about how to have a healthy family vision in these unprecedented, uncertain times. I wanted to talk to you first from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12. The second verse says it like this: Ezekiel was among a group of people who had eyes, but they couldn't see, which is King James English, so it's maybe a little unusual for us today. But what does that say? I think it says he was around people that did not have a healthy vision. If you go through the book of Ezekiel, you see that he had lots of things he saw. The way that God spoke to him was typically in vivid imagery. He saw a valley of dry bones, a wheel in the middle of a wheel, a future temple. And the interesting thing is, God would many times in his book ask him, Son of man, do you see this? In other words, Ezekiel, do you have a vision? And I feel like the Lord kind of spoke to my heart about that. Do I have a healthy family vision for this time? Am I being healthy in how I view my family right now? I know everyone's talking about, and it's valuable and important, increasing our time of prayer and fasting and reading the Bible, which we can always increase our consecration. But what I feel like the Lord was saying to me specifically is, are you having a clear vision of what I want to do in your family right now? And the great thing about that is that I've got time to think about it. And so I started thinking about my role as a spiritual leader of the home. What can I do to unify my family? What can I do as the leader, the spiritual leader, to bring us all together?
Absolutely. And I feel like part of my role as being the mother is making sure that I'm intentional in helping my children, helping them grow in God and understand what's going on in the world right now. Something that we personally do is I'll sit down with my children and we'll have a time of reading our Bible. For Carter, it may just be like a picture book Bible, but it's something more on his level, And then we each have a journal that we are. Well, let me back up. We also pray before we do our journaling, but after that we go into our journaling, and my children are able to write down their feelings, their thoughts, any questions they may have. And then I'll sit down and we'll talk about them. We'll go through each and every one of them. And, our children, they hear what we say and they hear what's going on in the world right now.
Absolutely.
And they may not comprehend it or understand it at the same level we do. But that way, I feel like it gives me an opportunity to go through and talk through those situations and help them grow and help them understand that God is in control of all of this.
Yes, that's so good. Absolutely. I know the scripture says the gates of hell will not prevail against the church, but I believe that the enemy will try to attack the family and therefore distract the church.
Absolutely.
I think, is God speaking to us in our families about effective communication? Could I communicate better with my wife and my children? Am I, as the father, as the provider, am I focused solely on providing for them a roof over their head and foods in their bellies and some toys or something to have fun? Am I focusing on building relationship with my children? Am I focusing on being the kind of spiritual leader that someone can follow? A hard question to ask yourself as a leader is, could I be led by someone else the way I'm leading? And I think it's so important. I try to ask myself that often in various leadership circles, through my job and through our church and even in my home. Could I be led the way I'm leading in our home? And I think the great thing about God in this time is he's got plenty of time to talk to us. And because we're quarantined, we've got plenty of time to listen. And I think the value that is added to that is we are literally right now being able to clearly focus on our families. I know as we're gathering around the devices, whatever device you use to watch church, we can't all come together, but we're sitting together worshiping the Lord, hearing his word and being blessed by the message and receiving everything that God has for us. One way I feel like God has spoken directly to me specifically is for us to all come around the table for at least one meal every day. All come around the table. No devices are welcome at the table. There's no Facebook or phones or iPads at the table. We're just us sitting at the table, just talking through our day. Now, right now, we're all in the house together, so we pretty much know what the other one's been doing most of the day. But the blessing to that is, I believe it will add value in the future when things go back to sort of a more sense of normalcy.
Absolutely.
I believe it'll add value because we'll be able to talk through with the kids. How was your day at school? And talk to my wife about the various responsibilities she's had through the day. And the kids might even ask me how my day was at work. But I think that's building valuable relationship and a sense of community, helping my children realize, hey, I want to know, Dad wants to know what you did today. How was your day? I want to ask my wife, how was your day today? What did you do today? What experiences did you have today? We're able to share with one another all these things and have a great time of just communicating with one another. So, what we wanted to leave you with is just let's come out of this stronger spiritually, absolutely. But also, let's come out of this as stronger families. Let's not allow this time to be wasted with frustration and arguments and bickering, but let's grow as families and let's serve the Lord together.